Hey friend, I am just coming back with an update, so I will be brief, but I just wanted to thank everyone who has joined me on this fast. And I know you're not doing it for me, but I know there is power in being in agreement and praying these things. So I'm excited to be praying for you all, and I'm thankful that for all of you who are praying for me as well. And I just ask that, you pray for everyone who is doing this with us. There have been some of the people who are in my Bible study group, some of the ladies from my group who didn't even know I was fasting, who has also decided to choose to be healthier on this journey. So I'm really excited to see that God is moving in the kingdom and allowing us to truly take care of our temples and prompting us to move in that direction and making sure that we are trying to pursue health so that we're able to run this race that He has set out before us with endurance and not tire or give up. So updates, I did struggle a little bit yesterday, especially with not being on social media. First thing I did, I do still have my Instagram app because my business page. So I do still have to manage that during this fast. And of course, when I got on, it was natural for me to go ahead and check my other page. So I had to just completely log out of my personal page because I don't want to have that temptation to check it. So I got off of that and that solved that problem. And then on my laptop, whenever I got on there, Facebook was still logged in. So I had to close that out as well so that I'm not having that temptation. And then there was also the temptation to not work out because I was so tired. I had woke up early. I went to bed late the night before, and then I had to run around to do some errands, to get some groceries and things so that I could be prepared for this fast. And I was so tired after all of that running around that I wanted to just take a nap and just sleep in. But I was able to get up and go to the park with my kids and get a good walk in. And I also came home and did some strength training. So it was a blessing to be able to do that. As you can see, I have on my workout stuff now. So I am planning to either go to the gym or go to the park later, depending on how late it is after my meeting, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I hope that it was a breeze for you all. But if not, I'm praying still for you that God will give you the strength that you need to do this, to endure through this, because it is a sacrifice and we know that it's not going to be easy. So if you did make a mistake, don't beat yourself up. Don't give up. Just get up and try again. Y'all know that's what I always like to say is process, not perfect, or no, sorry, progress, not perfection. So we're just trying to strive to do better every day. Do better than you did yesterday. And that's the goal. And sometimes you won't even do that, but strive to do better than you were last year or whatever. You just have to keep trying. You just don't give up. Keep praying and asking God to give you the strength to keep going. And I'm praying that He strengthens us as well. The other thing I wanted to hit on is that as I have been studying, I was really just basking in His love and just really seeing how faithful He is and how loving He is throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament. It's just a similar story throughout the whole thing. It's a love story. And I'll admit, whenever I first started reading the Old Testament, it was like hard to read because I could not see the love. But like now reading it, knowing His character, knowing who He is, His faithfulness despite our mistakes is just proof of His love, and it's just proof of His character. He is love. God is love, and it just shows in everything that He does. Christ died for us while we were still sinners. So before we ever decided to follow Him, before we ever decided to choose Him, He died for us because He loved us so much. So I say all that to say that we have to choose to believe, because I know I've been talking about self-image and insecurities and things like that. And I know we may be in a place where we may not feel beautiful. We may not feel loved. We may not feel seen. We may not feel validated, but we have to believe that what God says is true, because God is not a man that He should lie. So when we read His word and we see all the things that He says about His children, that He calls us, a royal priesthood. And He says that He loves us, and He says that we are wonderfully made. And we know that He doesn't make mistakes, that He created us exactly how He meant for us to be. Don't get me wrong. I know there was a fall and all of that. So we have our shortcomings in that way. But overall, He didn't make a mistake. Everything about us is part of a bigger piece. And yesterday I actually studied, no, I'm sorry. Yesterday, I actually checked my email to see if anybody had emailed about joining in on the fast. And when I checked it, I saw that I had received an email for about an interview that I had did maybe like a month, maybe even 2 months ago at this point. I really forgot about it. And there was an email just saying that the article had been posted. And when I read it, just seeing, first of all, that God showed that to me on the first day of my fast was just a reminder that He will put your name in rooms. Although you may not feel worthy, although you may not feel qualified. A friend that I didn't even know 2 years ago, I just met her, I think last year through Instagram. She doesn't even live here, never met her in person. She mentioned my name to someone who does interviews and talks about small businesses and things like that. And it gave me the opportunity to be published on a website and do this interview where I was able to share my mission for my business and my ministry. And that was just such a blessing because I had nothing to do with that. I wasn't seeking after anything. I wasn't promoting myself or anything. God just gave me that opportunity and that privilege to be able to do that. And I was just so grateful. And part of what I said that I really forgot about was we're all like a puzzle piece to a bigger piece. Each piece is different. Each piece looks different, and it can only fit in one spot. It's made to be in that one place. And it seems small. When you look at it by itself, it may seem insignificant. You don't see anything. You may see a couple of colors on that puzzle piece. It may not seem that important. But if you try to put that puzzle together without that one piece, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't look good. It's not the same quality. And each of us are like a piece of a puzzle, a piece of a bigger puzzle. So us working together and seeing ourselves as worthy, not esteeming ourselves one higher than the other, but actually seeing each of us as valuable pieces to God's bigger plan. That's so key to this. Like, recognize that your gifts may not be my gifts. My gifts may not be yours. I may not look like you, or I may not do things the same way that you do them, but we can still love each other and appreciate each other's differences and accept our own differences and not try to be like the world, not try to fit in, but actually be set apart as God has called us to be. So anyways, I just want to encourage you with this word that no matter what, God loves you, and choose to believe that, because if nothing else, we know that God is perfect. We know that He is not a liar. We know that He does not make mistakes. So if He created you and He put you here, He did that for a reason. So despite whatever mistakes you made, know that He knew everything that you would do before you were born, before He created you, before He put you here. And He still gave you the opportunity to come into this world, and He still called you to Him. And He did that for a reason, because He loves you. He wants you to see salvation. He wants you to see health. He wants you to see yourself as He does. So yeah, I'm just basking in His love and just looking for His love in every little thing that I read in the Word, every time I worship, everything, because I just really want to see myself as He does. And I hope that you do as well. I'm going to wrap this up because I've already been on here like 9 minutes, 9 minutes, and I have to go pick up my daughter. But I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Be blessed, friend.